Welcome to the second episode of my Turkey vlog. I hope you have seen the first one. Our first morning in Cappadocia began like this. The hotel's location and premises were quite good. You can see lavender fields here in one of the other resorts in the vicinity. And the views from our resort were quite spectacular. We could see those chimneys clearly from our hotel. Uchisar Castle was visible from our resort. It was sunny and we were glad, but it was very cold and we had to wear at least two woolen layers to protect us, and the winds were also quite strong. We felt that Cappadocia was much more relaxed compared to Istanbul. Cappadocia is known as the land of beautiful horses, but if you will check the condition of the horses there, you will not feel so. They were rather miserable and overused for tourism. So, on our first day in Cappadocia, we got ready and drove to the main sites of the city, just a few of them, and this was what we saw on the way. It was a viewpoint. It was not any famous tourist spot, just a restaurant surrounded by these trees, and we clicked many photos there. It was quite a sight for the eyes. This snow-capped peak is Mount Aetius, which is also a volcano. It can be seen from many points in Cappadocia. You don't really need to visit all the tourist spots in Cappadocia to view these fairy chimneys. They can be found at other places also, like you can just stop by and admire the views. And those are most probably almond blossom trees. I saw them in Istanbul also. We could see their flag everywhere. Our first point of interest for the day was Uchisar Castle. Uchisar Castle is one of the top attractions of Cappadocia. I liked going there, and the area was surrounded by shops and cafes. The prices were not as exorbitant as we had found in Istanbul. Yet I did not really feel like buying anything because nothing was that impressive, at least for me. I had planned to buy Evil Eye from Turkey, but I did not really like any. As we entered the castle, we saw this dhaba like place inside with this lady making a traditional Turkish dish that is gözleme. It was really yummy, and they were even serving tea and coffee. So we had a great time there, and we even interacted with people from other countries like Colombia. It was yummy and you must try it. This castle was also featured in Salman Khan's song Leke Prabhu Ka Naam from his latest Tiger movie. Inside the castle there is not much to see. You can climb up for the views. What fascinates me about Turkey is that their language is quite similar to ours. Uchi means high, just like Ucha means high in our Hindi. So Uchisar means high castle. Goes without saying, but you should wear very comfortable shoes here, and it is quite windy, so do tie your hair or something. These were the last wooden stairs, and then there were metal stairs to go to the top. We climbed till the top of the castle, and it was not that difficult. It was quite windy up there. All in all, I found it worth paying 250 lira for the entrance. Basically, for me, it was a scenic trek, a short one, and a good activity for a tourist. I will be very honest with you. It was not something that you should come from a faraway country to visit this. This hilltop fortress is some centuries old. had seen this tree in so many photos and videos, but when I actually saw it, it was just a normal tree. And even the Pigeon Valley, it was okay. Some people were feeding the birds. This valley was not very far away, and there was no ticket or entry fee. This valley is also one of the top attractions of Goreme. The different valleys and points of interest of Goreme and Cappadocia are included in many tours available there, green tour, red tour and all. But we had our own car rental, so we drove everywhere on our own. Some roads were a little rough, so I would recommend that if somebody is a really confident driver, only then they should rent a car in Cappadocia. Otherwise, we did not face much of problems there, and most of the attractions were at drivable distances, so it was convenient for us. A small request for those who opt for these animal rides: just think about the harsh weather, and they are standing in like around polluted air, and there was so much of dust there, and they seemed depressed. This is the famous UNESCO World Heritage Site known as Love Valley, and this is a part of Goreme Historical National Park. These natural formations in Cappadocia are somewhat similar, so there is no point in visiting all of them unless you really want to do that. So I would suggest you to do some online research and see which one appeals to you the most, and you can visit a few of them. These formations are known as fairy chimneys. At Love Valley, we saw these traditional trees with love wishes tied onto small vases. Most of the wishes were written in Turkish. We could just understand the names and hearts drawn on the vases. During our time in Cappadocia, we visited total 3 valleys, and there was no entry fee for those valleys, and which is a good thing because in Turkey entry fees are not less. And we saw balloon souvenirs everywhere because in Cappadocia hot air ballooning is one of the top attractions. But overall, I did not really like the quality of souvenirs in Turkey, and also they did not really look like the price. After that, we drove to a mall in Nevşehir and we found this departmental store there, and we were very happy that we'll do our shopping from there, and we bought a lot of things at really good prices. But when the bill came, there were so many discrepancies in the bill and the staff did not understand English, so we had a hard time, and even we faced language problem while checking out the deals at the store, so we had misunderstood some of the deals and we wasted a lot of time there. But we bought many things, and things are generally reasonably priced at such stores compared to the touristy shops. Afterwards, we went back to Goreme city center for some shopping and dining. And around midnight, it was raining when we reached our hotel. A part of our room was leaking when it was raining heavily, but the staff helped us out. You must have seen these apricots in your own country also. They generally come from Turkey, and you can buy these from Turkey, and they were actually fresh and better than what I had had before. One of the main reasons for coming to Cappadocia was hot air ballooning, and it was getting cancelled every day. So we had booked it while we were in India, but it was not of any use because it got cancelled. While we were in Cappadocia, every day we used to inquire about it, and there was a different price. We extended our Cappadocia stay just because of hot air balloon. On this day, we went to the market and booked another hot air balloon ride, and then we drove to an underground city. This is the famous Uchisar Castle. If you will be in Cappadocia, you will be able to see it from most places in Goreme. The experience was slightly scary. These ways were too narrow and there was mud in the air. It was a little claustrophobic at some places, and I had to bend my back way too much at some points. So if you are someone who cannot really bend their back too much, then avoid going down the city. And also if you have breathing issues, then please don't come here because it's not recommended. The ticket was €13 per head, which is a little unjustified, I guess, but rates are high in Turkey and anywhere you go. But overall I would recommend this place, as you can see a whole underground city here, and you can think about how those people used to live. It is something unusual, and it is in a way it is well maintained. These houses are created in about a total of 100 tunnels that the city is made of. You can check out their kitchen, their winery, and other places like the stable where the animals used to stay. A church also used to be there in these caves. And just like the fairy chimneys, we did not plan on seeing each of the underground cities here in Cappadocia, so you can also select one or two. And I want to make a point here that I like the underground city, but my family was not really impressed with it. So you can do some more research before going there, if maybe you won't like it. Driving around Goreme was a pleasure because the sights were like this, and each site amazed me. I mean, I've never seen anything like this before. Because we saw the wrong time on the internet. When we reached Goreme Open Air Museum, it was already shut down. We were tired and we had already seen many such formations, so we did not come back to the open air museum. I saw this poor thing at the gate of the museum. It was tied in bitter cold, and there was no place for him for even to stand or sit, and it was crying. The people who are responsible for it must be making so much of money because of it, but what is the animal getting in return? They can't even make it comfortable. And trust me, it was really cold at that time. I was really pained to see it prowling like that. So I asked a shopkeeper nearby what is happening, and first he said that he doesn't know. So another guy came and he said that his the camel's owner has gone for a camel ride with another camel. So, and this baby is crying for food. Our next stop was Rose Valley, and it was around sunset. So we had chosen this time as we saw recommendations online that the sunset is great here. And it was bitter cold, and taking hands out of the pocket and making videos was a bit of a task there. And I also wanted to ride this ATV thing. I've never done it before, but it was not my kind of ambience for such a sport. It was quite dusty and very cold also, so, and yeah, these were quite noisy. This valley is also a nature preserve like most of the attractions of the region, and the landscape is quite interesting. Most probably it is known as Rose Valley because of this pinkish color of the valley, and when the sun sets here it looks really gorgeous and it's great for photos. So after exploring the valley, we came here to grab a bite. This guy was selling some potato fries, and these dogs seemed quite hungry. It was bitter cold, and I don't know if anybody feeds these guys or not. And this was a heater, but some people had thrown trash in it, thinking it to be a dustbin or I don't know what. Dogs started running after me, and I got scared and threw my potato snack at them. And I think they ate it. And then we drove back to the city center and had a coffee here, tea or coffee, I don't remember now. And then we went to this restaurant. And like most other restaurants in Turkey, this one was also expensive, and we had a hard time finding vegetarian options. Our hot air balloon ride was scheduled for the next day, so stay tuned to know what happened.